The rain hammered the windshield like fists of fate, turning the empty Iowa highway into a blurred ribbon of regret. I, Charles, 26, and fraying at the edges from another failed escape to Chicago, had just confessed my buried truth to Ryan, the straight-as-steel Uber driver I'd hired on a whimmy voice cracking over the hum of the engine. I'm gay, and I've been running from it my whole damn life. His foot slammed the brake, the car fishtailing on slick asphalt, and before I could gasp, his hand shot out, shoving me back into the seat with a force that pinned my heart as much as my body's eyes. Wild and unreadable, locking onto mine in the rearview mirror like he'd just discovered a ghost in his own reflection. That push wasn't violence. It was the universe cracking open, spilling secrets we'd both been choking on for miles. Ryan's grip lingered a beat too long on my shoulder, his calloused fingers trembling against the damp fabric of my shirt. And in that suspended breath, I saw a flicker of something deeper than shock in his blue eyes, a storm mirroring the one outside. You think you're the only one hiding, he growled, voice rough as gravel, releasing me only to white-knuckle the wheel, the car lurching forward again into the night. We didn't speak for the next 20 miles, the silence thicker than the fog, but it wrapped around us like a promise, pulling us toward whatever wreckage or redemption lay ahead. By the time we rolled into Des Moines, the city's sodium lights smearing gold across the puddles, my pulse hadn't slowed. Ryan pulled up to my aunt's rundown bungalow on the edge of town, the place I'd fled to after my parents' ultimatum back in Omaha: fix yourself, or don't come home. The engine idled like a heartbeat, and he twisted in his seat, his broad frame filling the space between us. Charles, he said, my name sounding foreign on his lips, like he'd been rehearsing it. That wasn't just your story back there. Mine's. Complicated. I wanted to bolt, to laugh it off as road trip delirium. But his gaze held me, raw and pleading, the kind of look that strips away pretenses and leaves you bare. He wasn't the burly ex-Marine I'd pegged him for from his profile, picked just a guy in his late 20s. Jaw set against the weight of unspoken wars, the faint scar on his cheek from some deployment he never mentioned. I nodded, throat tight, and fumbled for my wallet. But he waved it off. On me. Consider it. Payment for the truth. The door handle felt cold under my palm as I stepped out, rain soaking through my jeans in seconds. But I paused, turning back. Ryan, why'd you push me? Really? He stared at the dashboard, rain drumming a frantic rhythm. Because if I didn't, I'd have kissed you. And that scares the hell out of me. The words hung there, electric, as I slammed the door and ran for cover, his taillights fading into the storm like a lifeline I wasn't ready to grab. Sleep evaded me that night, the aunt's lumpy couch creaking under my restless tosses. Aunt Lila, a chain-smoking widow with a heart bigger than her bingo winnings, had left a note: fridge is stocked. Kid, holler if you need to talk. But talking was what got me here, spilling my guts to a stranger because the app said he had a 4.9 rating and a truck that could haul my regrets across state lines. Ryan's face haunted me, that push replaying in loops, not rejection, but restraint, a dam cracking under pressure. By dawn, the sky had cleared to a brittle blue, and I found myself re-downloading the app, thumb hovering over request ride like a gambler chasing a bad bet. He showed up at noon. Same black Ford F-150. Engine rumbling like an apology. No uniform today, just faded Levi's hugging his thighs. A gray tee stretched across his chest. And that flannel from last night. Sleeves rolled to reveal forearms corded with muscle and ink. A faded eagle tattoo. Probably from his core days. Going somewhere? He asked, leaning against the doorframe of the truck, a half-smile tugging at his lips that didn't reach his eyes. I shrugged, bag slung over my shoulder. Thought I'd head back to Omaha. Face the music, It was a lie. I had nowhere to go but forward, or deeper into this pull I felt toward him. The drive was quieter this time. The cornfields stretching endless under the October sun. Golden husks whispering secrets to the wind. Ryan fiddled with the radio, landing on some classic rock station Springsteen crooning about highways and broken dreams, and I caught him glancing my way. Quick as a sniper's scope. "You got family waiting," he ventured finally, hands flexing on the wheel. I laughed. Bitter. Sort of. Dad's a preacher. Mom's his echo. They think prayer can pray away the gay. The words tasted like ash, but saying them to him felt like exhaling after holding my breath for years. He nodded slow, jaw tightening. "My old man's the same. Ex-cop. All badges and Bibles. Kicked me out at 18 when he found my stash of magazines. Not the girly kind." The confession landed soft, but it detonated inside me. Ryan. Straight Ryan. With his easy grin for barmaids and his profile boasting ladies only, had layers I'd never imagined. "Bye? Then?" I whispered, heart thundering. He snorted, but there was no humor in it. "Labels are bullshit, Charles. I like who I like. But after the core, after losing buddies to don't ask bullshit, I buried it. Stuck to safe. Until you." The truck swerved slightly as he said it, and I gripped the door handle, the air between us charging like before a lightning strike. We hit Omaha by dusk, the skyline jagged against a blood-orange sky, and he pulled into a diner off I-80, the kind with neon signs buzzing, open 24/7, and waitresses who call you hon. Over greasy burgers and coffee black as sin. The floodgates opened. Ryan talked about Fallujah, the sand and the screams. How he'd held a dying friend, whispering promises he couldn't keep. He was more than a brother, he admitted, voice cracking. And I never got to say it. I shared my own ghosts, the high school locker room taunts, the first fumbling kiss in a college dorm that ended in fists, the parade of apps that left me hollow. By the time we left, the diner's windows fogged with our breaths. His hand brushed mine under the table accidental. Then not. "Stay the night," I said, bold as brass. "My place is a shithole, but it's got a couch." He hesitated, eyes searching mine, then nodded. "Yeah. Okay." My apartment was a third-floor walk-up in Midtown. Peeling wallpaper and a view of the Elkhorn River slinking through the city like a vein. Ryan crashed on the couch, but sleep was a joke. Around 2 a.m., I padded to the kitchen for water, and there he was shirtless, silhouetted against the fridge light, scars mapping his back like a road map of hell. He turned, catching me staring, and the space between us shrank to nothing. "Can't sleep," he murmured, stepping closer, the heat of him cutting through the chill. "No," I breathed, and that was all it took. His hands found my waist, pulling me in on a push this time, but a claim in our mouths crashed together. Desperate, tasting of coffee and unspoken years. It was messy, all teeth and tongues, his stubble scraping my chin as he backed me against the counter, lifting me like I weighed nothing. "God, Charles," he groaned against my neck, fingers tangling in my hair. "You undo me." We stumbled to the bedroom, clothes shedding like old skins. His body over mine, a revelation, hard planes and soft yields. The way he whispered my name like a prayer as we moved together. Slow then frantic, chasing the edge of something sacred. Dawn found us tangled in sheets, his arm heavy across my chest, breath steady against my shoulder. But reality crept in with the light, his phone buzzing with texts from his sister, my voicemail filling with Dad's sermons. "This changes everything," he said, sitting up, running a hand through his hair. I nodded, throat tight. "For the better." He pulled me close, kissing my temple. "Damn right. but it's gonna hurt first. The next week blurred into a haze of stolen moments, Ryan picking me up after shifts at the bookstore. Our fingers laced under the dash as we drove aimless loops around the city. He introduced me to his dive bar haunts, where he'd nurse a beer and watch me with eyes that promised forever. Even as his buddies slapped his back and joked about finally settling down. I met his sister, Mia, a firecracker nurse with tattoos and no filter, who hugged me fierce and whispered, "He smiles different now." Thank you. But the shadows loomed, my parents' church picnic invitation, his looming family reunion, the world waiting to judge. It cracked open on a crisp Saturday. Ryan's truck idling outside my building as we planned a weekend getaway to the Badlands. No phones. No bullshit, he'd said, grinning that lopsided grin that melted me. But as I tossed my duffel in the back, a squad car pulled off his father's, lights flashing silent. Out stepped Detective Harlan Reed, all-starched uniform and steel gray eyes, badge glinting like a warning. Ryan. A word. The air turned to ice. I hung back, pulse roaring, as Harlan laid into him, voice low. "Venomous, heard you're shacking up with some queer kid. Family name means something. Boy. Or have you forgotten?" Ryan's fists clenched, but he held steady. "Love who I love. Dad. Deal with it." Harlan's gaze flicked to me, disgust curling his lip. "This your phase. Fix it before it ruins you." The slap came fast, Ryan's hand cracking across his father's cheek, echoing like thunder. "Get out. Now." Harlan reeled, face paling, then stormed to his cruiser, tires screeching as he peeled away. Ryan stood there, chest heaving, until I pulled him into a hug, his body shaking against mine. "It's over," he whispered. "All of it." We drove anyway, the Badlands swallowing us in red rock cathedrals, where we hiked hand in hand, the vastness dwarfing our fears. That night, under a sky stitched with stars, he proposed not with a ring, but with a promise: we'll build our own family. You, me, whatever comes. I said yes, tears mixing with dust on my cheeks. Back in Omaha, the backlash hit like a wave. Harlan cut Ryan off cold, no calls. No holidays, just a curt letter disowning him. My parents fared worse, the showdown at Sunday service. Dad thundering from the pulpit about sodomites in our midst. Mom weeping in the pews as I stood tall, Ryan's hand in mine. "We're leaving," I announced, voice steady for the first time. "But know this, love isn't a sin. It's the only grace there is." The congregation murmured, some turning away, but a few, Aunt Lila, Mia, even the old choir director nodded. Silent allies in the storm. We relocated to Denver, scraping by on Ryan's mechanic gigs and my freelance writing. The apartment a cozy nest above a coffee shop. Months turned to a year, marked by small victories, his first pride float, arm around me as rainbows rained confetti. My novel draft, pages bleeding with our story. But the real test came when Mia called Harlan sick, lungs ravaged by years of rage and regret, asking for Ryan one last time. The hospital room smelled of bleach and broken bonds. Harlan frail in his bed, oxygen hissing like accusations. Ryan entered alone, but I waited outside, heart in my throat. Minutes stretched to hours, voices rising then falling, until Ryan emerged, eyes red, but shoulders unbowed. He said sorry. Not perfect, but enough. Harlan passed a week later, leaving a letter: "I was wrong. Be happy, son." We scattered his ashes in the Platte, Ryan's hand steady as he spoke of forgiveness, the river carrying away the poison. 2 years on, under Colorado skies vast as hope, we stood in a sun-dappled grove, Mia officiating. Friends from both worlds gathered. Ryan, in a suit that hugged his frame. Slipped a simple band on my finger. Charles, you pushed me first into truth. Into us. Laughter rippled. Tears flowed. And as we kissed, the world felt whole. What started with a shove in the rain had bloomed into a life. Messy. Profound. Unbreakable. Love, we'd learned, isn't straight or curved, it's the road we choose. Together. The ceremony's echoes lingered as we drove west toward the Rockies. Ryan's hand warm on my thigh. The ring catching sunlight like a secret shared. Denver had become home. But the pull of adventure off proving our bond against the wild drew us to a cabin rental in Estes Park, where elk bugled at dusk and stars pressed close. Remember that first drive? Ryan asked, voice low over the crackle of our campfire that night. Flames dancing shadows across his face. I leaned into him. The scent of pine and smoke wrapping us. How could I forget? You nearly killed us both. He chuckled, deep and rumbling, pulling me onto his lap. Best near miss of my life. Our kisses started soft, reminiscing, then deepened, hands roaming with the familiarity of lovers who'd weathered storms. Inside the cabin, on a rug worn soft by winters, we rediscovered each other's slow explorations. Whispers of "I love you" punctuating gasps. His body arching under mine in surrender and strength. Afterward, tangled and sated, he traced the scar on my rib from a childhood fall. What if we'd never met? The question hung. Fragile. Then I'd still be lost. I murmured. You found me. Morning brought coffee on the porch, mist veiling the peaks, and a call from my editor. The novel, Shades of the Straight Line, had a bite from a small press. It's us, I told Ryan, excitement bubbling. Our push. Our pull. He grinned, pride swelling his chest. Knew you had it in you. But success stirred old ghosts. A reading in Omaha meant facing the city that birthed our pain. You sure? He asked, brow furrowed. I nodded. Time to own it. The event was at a cozy indie bookstore. Shelves groaning with stories braver than mine. Nervous sweat beaded as I took the mic. Ryan in the front row. His nod to anchor. This book, I began, voice steadying, is about a push not of force, but of fate. About two men who crashed into each other and built something real from the wreckage. The crowd 50 strong. A mix of curious locals and queer allies leaned in. Questions flowed. How much is true? One asked. I glanced at Ryan, his eyes shining. All of it. The fear, the fire, the forgiveness. After, over pie at a nearby diner, an older man approached graying, kind-eyed. Your dad's congregation. I was there that Sunday. Walked out with you in spirit. His name was Tom, a teacher who'd hidden his own truth for decades. Your words. They gave me courage. Ryan squeezed my hand under the table. Silent validation. But as we left, a shadow crossed the lot. Protesters. 3 of them. Signs scrawled with slurs. Voices hissing abomination. Ryan stepped forward. Body a shield. Back off. This is done. They scattered. But the venom lingered. A reminder that healing isn't linear. We drove home in thoughtful quiet. Ryan's jaw set. Hate's loud. But we're louder. That night, he cooked steak and potatoes. His marine precision turning the kitchen into a battlefield won. Over wine. He opened up about nightmares resurfacing, sand-swept memories. The friend he'd lost. Sometimes I wake up reaching for you. Scared you'll vanish. I cupped his face. I'm here. Always. Our lovemaking was tender. A balm, his lips mapping my skin. Murmurs of affirmation weaving through moans. Bodies sinking like they'd been made for this. Fall deepened. Leaves carpeting Denver in crimson. and Mia announced her pregnancy our niece or nephew. A new branch on the family tree we'd grafted ourselves. Uncle Ryan's spoiling already. She teased over video call. Her belly a gentle swell. We flew to Lincoln for the baby shower. The Reed side absent, but the love thick. Harlan's letter framed on Mia's mantle. A quiet truce. Dad would have come around, she said, hugging Ryan tight. For this. But joy cracked when my mom called, voice frail. Post-stroke. Charles. I read your book. Through a friend. Silence stretched. My heart clenching. And Ryan's hand found mine across the kitchen table. I'm sorry, son, for the hurt. Can I see you? We flew east the next day. Hospital sterile and stark. Mom pale in her bed. Dad absent, his pride a wall too high. I was scared. She whispered, tears tracking, of losing you to hell. But love. It's heaven, isn't it? I nodded, throat burning, as Ryan stood sentinel. It is, Mom. And we're living it. Reconciliation bloomed slow, weekly calls. Her attending a PFLAG meeting. Dad's silence thawing to gruff emails. Ryan and I threw ourselves into nesting, adopting a mutt named Scout. Painting the spare room for future fosters. Kids who'd need the stability we craved once. Our legacy, Ryan said, brush in hand. Paint smudged on his nose. I kissed it off. Ours. Winter hit with a vengeance. Blizzards blanketing the city, forcing us indoors. Cooped up. Tensions simmered. Ryan's freelance hauling drying up. My royalties spotty. One night, over lukewarm takeout. It erupted. You're pulling away, I accused. Voice sharp. He slammed his fork down. I'm providing. Damn it. While you chase words. The words hung. Ugly. Until he deflated. I'm scared we'll fail. Like them. I crossed to him. Pulling him up. We won't. Because we talk. We fight fair. Apologies dissolved into urgency. Clothes pooling on the floor. His hands urgent on my hips as we reclaimed each other against the wall, fierce. Forgiving. The storm outside paling to our inner thunder. Spring thawed the ice. And with it, opportunity. Ryan landed a steady gig at a garage specializing in classics. Grease under his nails a badge of pride. I started a workshop for queer writers. Voices like mine finding pages. Our first anniversary fell on a balmy May evening picnic in Washington Park. String lights twinkling. To pushes and pulls. He toasted, pulling a velvet box from his pocket, matching tattoos inked on our wrists. Interlocking gears. Turning together. Tears pricked as I traced mine. Forever. But fate tested again when Scout fell ill, leukemia. The vet said, prognosis grim. Nights blurred into vet runs. Ryan's face etched with grief. He's family. He choked, holding the dog's head in his lap. We rallied. Crowdfunding for treatment. Community pouring support, strangers moved by our story online. Scout pulled through. Tail wagging, weak but defiant. Teaching us resilience's bite. Summer swelled with pride. Denver's streets a riot of color. We marched. Ryan in a tank top showing his ink. Me waving a flag sewn by Mom, her stitches a bridge. On the float. Under confetti rain. He kissed me deep. Crowd roaring approval. This is us. He yelled over the music. Unbroken. As leaves turned again. We decided, foster certification. The first placement. A teen named Jordan 16. Trans. Fleeing conversion, camp arrived wide-eyed. Backpack clutched like armor. Heard about you too. He muttered. Heroes or something. Ryan knelt. Nah. Just guys figuring it out. Like you. Nights were long nightmares. Questions but mornings brought breakthroughs. Jordan's laugh over pancakes. His first sketch of us as superheroes. One evening, as snow dusted the peaks, Jordan asked, "How do you know it was real?" Ryan and I exchanged glances. "A push," I said, "and choosing to stay." He nodded, eyes bright. In that moment, our circle widened, love multiplying. What began in rain had ripened into roots deep, enduring, a testament that straight lines bend, and in the curve, we find grace. Jordan settled in fits and starts, his presence a mirror to our own jagged beginnings, questioning glances in the hall. Silences thick with unspoken wars. Ryan took to him quick, teaching carburetor tweaks in the driveway, grease-smeared lessons in trust. "Engines don't judge," he'd say, handing over a wrench. I'd catch them laughing, Jordan's guard cracking like ice under sun. For me, it was stories, late-night sessions with hot cocoa, pages of my novel traded for his sketches raw, vivid portraits of fear turned fierce. But integration stirred ripples. Mia's baby, little Harper, arrived in a flurry of midnight calls and airport dashes, her tiny fists waving like flags of surrender. We brought Jordan along, his awe at the bundle's softening edges. "She's perfect," he whispered, Aunt Lila beaming beside us. "Like family should be." Harlan's absence echoed, but his letter, now dog-eared in Ryan's wallet, whispered forgiveness. Back home, the real storm brewed. Jordan's caseworker, a stern woman named Ellis, dropped by unannounced. "Progress reports," she said, clipboard poised like a gavel. Ryan and I sat ramrod, Jordan fidgeting beside us. "School's good," I offered. "A's in art." She nodded, but her eyes lingered on our intertwined hands. "And the dynamic here? Stable for a minor." The implication stung, Ryan's jaw clenching. "More stable than most." He bit out. "Love's the constant." She left with a noncommittal hum, but doubt seated. That night, over pizza gone cold, Jordan erupted. "They think I'm broken, too. That you'll send me back." Tears carved tracks down his face, and Ryan pulled him into a bear hug. "Never. You're stuck with us." I joined, our trio a knot of limbs and promises. Later, alone, Ryan's touch was reverent fingers tracing my spine as we lay spent, breath sinking. "We're doing right by him," he murmured. "By us." Autumn deepened, holidays looming like hurdles. Thanksgiving at Mom's sure table set for 5. Dad's chair empty, but his email blessing a ghost in the room. "He misses you," she confided, passing mashed potatoes. Jordan devoured pie, eyes wide at the normalcy. Ryan carved the turkey with precision, toasting to found families. Laughter flowed, tentative then free, Mom's hand squeezing mine under the cloth. "Proud of you, Charles." But cracks widened when Jordan's bio dad surfaced, a slick lawyer from Sioux Falls, custody petition in hand. "Rehabbed," he claimed, smile all teeth. Court loomed. Ellis's reports neutral but damning in subtext. Ryan paced nights, fists balled, over my dead body. I researched pro bono lawyers, queer advocacy groups rallying. "We've got this," I assured. But fear not. The hearing was a blur of fluorescent lights and legalese. Jordan paled between us. Dad testified remote. Voice gruff, boy needs structure. These two. They got it. His words. A lifeline from the man who'd once condemned. The judge ruled in our favor, temporary guardianship. Path to adoption. Outside, Jordan collapsed into sobs, Ryan lifting him like a shield. "Home," he gasped. We celebrated with ice cream, sticky-fingered vows under street lamps. Winter wrapped us tight. Holidays a hearth of warmth. Christmas Eve. Tree aglow. Jordan gifted Sketchesis as a unit. Unbreakable. Ryan and I exchanged leather journals for the unwritten chapters. Midnight Mass at Mom's church progress. Not perfection carols swelling as we held hands discreet. New Year's dawned with resolutions, more road trips. Deeper roots. Spring unfurled tentative. Jordan blooming art show at school. His piece pushed forward, earning gasps and applause. Ryan beamed from the back, whispering, "That's our boy." But shadows lingered. Ryan's garage hit layoffs. Bills stacking like accusations. I failed. He confessed one dawn. Head in hands. I knelt before him. No. We're pivoting. Job hunts led to a towing service nights long. But his calls home steady. Miss you both. Summer scorched. Pride a phoenix of parades and panels. I keynote. Voice carrying Jordan's story anonymized. Pushes come in many forms toward truth. Toward each other. Ryan. Arm around Jordan. Nodded fierce. Backstage. His kiss was fire. You're my hero. Heat built in the green room. Quick and clandestine, his hands pinning mine. Breaths mingling urgent. Always. I gasped. Fall brought harvest. Adoption papers signed. Jordan's last name Reed Harlow inked official. Family. He said. Hugging tight. Mia's Harper toddled now. Chubby hands grabbing at Scout's ears. We hosted a barbecue. Aunts and allies toasting under golden leaves. Mom arrived with Dad frail. Silent. But present. Son. He rumbled. Clapping Ryan's shoulder. Take care of them. Ryan nodded. Eyes wet. Always have. As snow threatened, we planned a road trip echoing that first drive. But healed. Packing the truck. Jordan quipped. No pushing this time. Ryan ruffled his hair. Only toward better. The highway unspooled. Windows down. Wind singing freedom. Stops at diners. Hikes in canyons. Nights in motels where Ryan and I stole moments, lazy mornings. His body warm against mine. Whispers of dreams. One dusk. At a overlook vast as memory. Ryan pulled me close. That push. Best thing ever. Jordan snapped a photo. Grinning. In the frame. We stood whole-scarred. Shining. Story ongoing. Love. We'd etched. Isn't endpoint. It's the endless road. Paved with courage. Curved with grace. The road trip stretched into a week of rediscovery. Asphalt therapy mending frayed threads. We zigzagged through Wyoming badlands. Sagebrush whispering ancient welcomes. Jordan shotgun with maps and playlist Cindy folk anthems clashing with Ryan's classic rock. Your turn, he'd say, seating the AUX cord with mock gruffness. Laughter filled the cab. Scouts head out the window. Tongue-lolling joy. Nights in campgrounds tested us. Jordan's first ghost story around the fire. His voice steady despite wide eyes. And they lived messy ever after. He ended. Poking embers. Ryan slung an arm over my shoulders. Damn right. Later. Tent zipped. His touch ignited slow fingers lacing. Bodies aligning in the dark. The zippers rasp a prelude to sighs. Love this life. He breathed. Post-climax glow painting him gold by lantern light. Back in Denver. Routine reclaimed us. But richer. Jordan dove into high school theater. Auditioning for Rent, irony not lost. Playing Angel. He announced. Beaming. Ryan built a prop rack in the garage. Tools humming late. I mentored his drama club. Scripts blurring into our saga. Mom visited. Baking pies. Her stories softening Dad's edges via speakerphone. Tell him we're good. I urged. She smiled. He knows. But autumn winds carried warning. Ryan's back seized during a told injury flaring. Doc prescribing rest and PT. Laid up. He grumbled. Ice pack thrown on the couch. Jordan stepped up. Chores with teen efficiency. I rubbed salve into knots. Our evenings, intimate massages, turning amorous. His moans, easing tension. You're my fix, he teased, pulling me down. Election season raged. News cycles venomous on queer rights. Protests erupted downtown. Ryan itching to join despite his brace. Can't sit this out. We marched. Jordan's sign, love wins, bobbing. Tear gas stung. But solidarity surged, strangers linking arms. Chance a heartbeat. Home. Bruised but bonded. Ryan's kiss tasted of resolve. We fight for them, he said, nodding to Jordan asleep upstairs. Winter gripped early. Holidays a flurry. Hanukkah candles flickered beside the tree-blended rites. Mom lighting menorah with Jordan's help. Traditions evolve, she said, eyes twinkling. Dad arrived for Christmas stooped, but smiling faintly at gifts, a photo album of us. Pages turning like tides. Beautiful family, he muttered, voice thick. Ryan clasped his hand. Welcome aboard. New year brought pivot. Ryan's PT unearthed coaching talent volunteering at a queer youth center. Mentoring mechanics to kids like Jordan once was. Building futures, he said, grease on his cheek from a demo. I expanded the workshop. Virtual sessions reaching rural hearts. Jordan's Rent Run premiered standing ovation. His angel soaring. Backstage tears. Group hug broke me open. He gasped. Spring bloomed defiant. Cherry blossoms defiant against late frosts. We fostered again twins. Mia and Luca. 5-year-old whirlwinds fleeing neglect. Chaos reigned. Finger paints on walls. Bedtime battles. Ryan thrived. Bedtime stories in gravelly voices. Jordan bonded Big Brother style. Teaching forts. Nights. Exhausted. Ryan and I collapsed quick couplings. Laughter muffled in pillows. Controlled anarchy. He panted. Summer scorched with opportunity. My novel optioned for indie film. Buzz humming. Hollywood. Jordan hooped. Ryan hugged tight. Proud. Babe. But pressure mounted script, notes, clashing visions. It's our story. I vented one eve. He listened. Then, make it yours. His faith. Anchor. Pride amplified. Float a stage for Jordan's improv. Twins waving flags. Ryan proposed expansion, adopt the littles. Papers swirled. Home studies probing. Stable. Ellis revisited. Softer now. More than. Ryan affirmed. Kids clambering. Approval came swift. Court date a formality. Fall harvested joy, twins adoption day. Park picnic under amber leaves. Vows exchanged playful. Cake smeared on cheeks. Mom teared up. Dad nodded approval. Read Harlow strong. Evenings settled, family dinners. Stories shared. Ryan's coaching gig full-time. Center thriving. One crisp night. Stargazing on the roof. Jordan mused. Pushes make us. Ryan squeezed my hand. And pulls keep us. Below. Twins slumbered. Scout snored. Our constellation flawed. Fears shone. Love's arc bent toward light. Each turn a grace. The adoption party's afterglow faded into the grind of 4-kid chaos. But grace threaded the mayhem. Mia and Luca's giggles echoed mornings. Jordan's eye rolls a teen right. Scout herding with wagging tail. Ryan rose early. Coffee brewing as he packed lunches PB and J precision. Notes tucked. Crushed today. I'd linger. Stealing kisses amid spills. My general. I teased. He'd grin. Saluting. Work days blurred. My film script revisions in coffee-fueled marathons. Ryan's center buzzing with after-school hammers and heart-to-hearts. Evenings. We tag-teamed baths and books. Collapsing post-bedtime. Lovemaking shifted stolen showers. his hands soapy and sure. Or quiet spoons in the dark. Whispers weaving dreams. Full house. Fuller heart. He'd murmur. Fingers interlaced. Thanksgiving loomed grand. Extended kin converging mom's turkey. Lila's pies. Mia's brood. Dad arrived early. Helping Ryan brine awkward grunts evolving to shop talk. Heard about the center. Good work. Ryan's nod was cautious. Thanks. Means something. Table grace. Hands linked across generations. Toasts to resilience. Jordan carved. Twins cheered. Laughter drowned old echoes. But December dusted doubt. Funding cuts threatened the center. Ryan's program first on the block. Kids need this. He fumed. Pacing. Petitions flew. Bake sales rallied community fierce. Donors stepping up. I scripted a grant pitch. Words weaponized. We're in this. I vowed. His hug fierce. Stress, bodies clash release. His growls against my neck cathartic. Holidays twinkled, twins wonder at lights. Jordan's Hanukkah mixtape thumping. Christmas Eve carols. Dad joining bass voice rusty but true. Gifts unwrapped slow for Ryan. A leather tool belt etched, builder of dreams. Mine. A locket with our first push photo. New Year's. Kids fizzing with sparklers. We slow danced in the yard snowflakes confetti. To more? He whispered. Winter waned stubborn. Flu season felling us one by one. Ryan down longest. Feverish ramblings of sand and loss. I nursed. Broth and stories. Jordan tag teaming. You're his rock. The boy said. Eyes wise. Recovery brought clarity. Center saved. Expansion funded queer youth hub. Scholarships named for lost friends. Spring surged renewal. Twins preschool finger paints adorning fridge. Jordan's prom jitter suit fittings. Ryan's tie-tying wisdom. Be you. He advised. Date night. Jordan home glowing. It was. Real. We high-fived. Hearts swell. My film greenlit low-budget indie. Shoot in Colorado. Casting calls buzzed. Ryan auditioned extras. Gruff charm winning laughs. No ego. He joked. Table reads electric. Our story voiced alive. Director pulled me aside. This resonates. Personal. I nodded. Every scar. Summer sizzled sets. Dusty exteriors mimicking Iowa rains. Ryan's truck the hero vehicle. Wrap party. Cast toasting Jordan snuck bubbly. Twins danced wild. Intimacy amid chaos. Trailer quickies. His uniform unbuttoned hasty. Gasp stifled. Scene stealer. I panted. Fall premiered tentative. Festival screening. Omaha nod. Red carpet nerves. Family flown in dad's suit starched. Mom's clutch tight. Lights dim. Our push flickered large gasps. Then applause thunderous. Q&A. Ryan's hand in mine. Truth heals. After party. Toasts flowed. Dad cornered us, stirred something. Sorry's not enough. But. It's start. Hug awkward. Real. Holidays healed deeper. Center's winter fair. Kids' booths bustling. Jordan directed a nativity twist queer shepherds. Inclusive stars. Twins as lambs. Bleeding hilarity. New Year. Resolutions collective. Travel. Therapy for dad's shadows. One eve. Post-story time. Kids slumbering. Ryan and I on the porch, stars pricking cold sky. Pushed us here. He said. Arm around. Jordan joined. Sketchpad in lap. Drawing our sequel. Laughter soft. Love's narrative unfolded, chapters co-written. Endings open. Grace in every line. The festival won a jury prize for authentic voices, catapulted the film into limited release. Posters papering indie theaters. Our rainy cab a siren call. Interviews beckoned. Ryan dodging spotlight, but anchoring home. Go shine, he'd say, kissing me out the door. Jordan devoured dailies. Critiquing, more angst in that push. Twins parroted lines. Luca's straight driver. Mangled adorable. But buzz-bred beasts. Online trolls dredging Harlan's obit. Twisting disowned bigot into clickbait. Ryan's phone blew reporters probing. No comment. He growled. But hurt festered. They reduce us. I held him through it. Nights raw bodies seeking solace. His thrusts deliberate. Reclaiming narrative. Ours. He affirmed. Spent. Spring thawed publicity, book tour hybrid. Virtual stops to queer centers. Ryan road managed. Truck-loaded podcasts and pies. Jordan co-piloted. Playlist curator. Twins FaceTime chaos. Stops stirred souls rural teens, echoing our start. Elders nodding wisdom. One night. Post-reading in Lincoln. A vet approached Ryan. Your story. Mine too. Thanks. Handshake lingered. Brotherhood sealed. Summer scripted sequel talk studio sniffing prequel. Origins. Producer mused. I countered. Forward. Ryan advised off mic. Keep heart. Family Valkyrie interrupted. Badlands Redux. Tents and tales. Twins chased lizards. Jordan journaled sunsets. Bonfire confessions. Ryan's deployment dreams easing. Shared aloud. Healings heard. He said. Us huddled. Fall foliage framed homecoming. School open houses. Twins kindergarten jitters. Jordan's college apps loomed in YU Tish. Dreams big. Leave nest. Ryan teased. Masking pang. We prepped essays. His pushes and pulls peace gutting us. Acceptance letter danced in. Tears and tacos celebrating. Holidays hummed harmony, mom's Seder. Dad debating Torah with Jordan unlikely duo. Christmas. Center Gala Ryan emceeing. Suit sharp. Twins recited poems. Luca lisped love always. Bid sword. Program saved plus. New Year's. Kids countdown. We snuck a kiss at midnight fireworks mirroring sparks. Winter whispered change. Ryan's doc cleared full duty. But coaching called louder full-time director. Youth Initiative grant. Legacy. He beamed. I consulted scripts. Mentoring margins. Foster call. Teen mom. Baby in toe space tight. Hearts expand. Eliza arrived wary. Infant cooing soft. Trial. Caseworker cautioned. Ryan bottle fed at dawn. Jordan diapered dexterous. Village. I quipped. Spring swelled. Eliza's GED classes. Our cheers loud. Film streamed wide. Reviews raving, Tinder triumph. Sequel greenlit direction. Twins recitals. Jordan's grad cap toss. Speech soaring. Family found in fractures. Dad teared. Clapping thunder. Summer shot prequel, Young Us. Actors echoing. On-set cameos. Ryan's truck cameo. Jordan PANG. Rap. Twins crash parties. Intimacy evolved. Post-shoot exhaustion melting into languid loves. His mouth worshipful. Affirming. Fall fostered permanence. Eliza's adoption path clear. Baby Lila's giggles hours. Center's fall fest. Haunted hayrides. Twins squealing. Jordan scaring sly. Holidays healed. Dad's apology letter framed. Proud path. Mom's embrace warm. One snow-dusted night. Hearth crackling. Ryan gathered us. Stories just begun. Nods rippled. Jordan's NYU deferral for gap year coaching. Twins crayon tales. Eliza's lullabies. Stars wheeled outside. Our constellation bright. Pushed from rain to roots. Grace our guide endless. Embracing. The prequels buzz built bridges. Streaming numbers soaring. Fan mail flooding. Letters from closets cracked. Hearts handed over. Ryan read aloud evenings. Voice gravelly with emotion. Your push saved me. Weed past tissues. Kids piling on laps. Heroes. Luca declared. Fist pumped. Jordan rolled eyes, but hugged tighter. But acclaim amplified exposure. Tabloid trash on Harlan's curse. Anonymous threats to the center. Security cams installed. Ryan's stride tensed. Not letting fear win. He vowed. But sleep evaded. I woke to his pacing. Pulling him back to bed, hands soothing. Bodies entwining slow. His surrender a sigh. Anchor me. He pleaded. Release rippling peace. Spring sprouted safeguards, ally workshops. Legal funds. Jordan's gap year ignited mentoring trans youth. His sketches therapy tools. Echoes of me. He said. Portfolio proud. Twins bloomed bilingual. Eliza's Spanish lullabies lilting. Baby Lila crawled chaos. Scout patient playmate. Summer premiered prequel, Can Nod. Red carpet, surreal family flown. Dad and Tux awkward charmed. Lights blinded. Applause deafened. Q&A. Ryan's arms steel. Fiction from fact loves the core. After party. Twins danced dizzy. Jordan networked nerves. Hotel nights. Ryan's touch celebratory champagne, kisses escalating. Balcony breaths hushed. World's ours. He growled. Fall framed futures. NYU beckoned Jordan. Dorm tours tear-streaked. Visit monthly. Ryan bartered. Eliza's degree pursued nights. Our cheers constant. Center expanded aftercare wing. Named Reed Haven. Holidays hallowed, Seders. Dad leading blessings, hesitant hopeful. Christmas. Custom ornaments each name etched. New Year's. Resolutions ritual, braver. Jordan. Bolder. Ryan. Winter wove worries, flu wave. Eliza down harpneumonia scare. Hospital vigils. Ryan's hand hers. Twins drawings bedside. Fight. Mama. Mia lisped. Recovery rallied us soup rotations. Story hours. Spring followed fragile, her first post-grad job. Barista badge beaming. My third book, brewed anthology. Voices collected. Submissions poured. Raw revelations. Ryan beta read. Notes gentle, heart hits. Twin school plays. Luca's lion roar mighty. Jordan's send-off party. Bonfire burns promises pinned on balloons. Lofted skyward. Summer scripted closure, Jordan's flight. Airport goodbye gut wrench. Call daily. Ryan choked. Text hourly. I added. Empty nest echoed first weeks. But Eliza's wedding plans filled local ceremony. Us walking her aisle. Vows vowed. Toasts tiered. Dance floor. Ryan twirling twins. Fall fostered fresh, centers teen council. Jordan Zoom chairing. Book launch packed readings resonant. Signing stories shared. Holidays healed historic, Dad's full visit. Grilling with Ryan smoke and silences softening to stories. Missed this. He admitted. One eve. Leaves lingering. Ryan and I hiked, kids trailed. Pax picnicky. Summit view vast. He knelt sudden. Renew. Vows. Rings. All. Box gleamed bands etched, pushed eternal. Tears tumbled. Yes, whispered wind. Grace circle past pushed. Present pulled. Future free. Renewal dawn broke golden. Vows voiced in our grove, Mia officiating anew. Family full circle. Rings exchanged. Simple bands burnished by years. Ceiling, I do's deeper. Twins scattered petals. Jordan's grin gap year grown. Eliza cradling Lila cooing. Dad's nod solemn. Mom's Kleenex clutched. Eternal. Ryan breathed. Kiss ceiling. Post-ceremony picnic sprawled, lazy baskets unpacked. Games goofy. Luca chased frisbees. Mia's laughter lilting. Evening embers. Stories swirled. Harlan's letter passed. Lessons lingered. Growth's gift. Dad rumbled. Rare vulnerable.